Okay, you can see this is McDonald Park. This is, where there was a declared macroburst. But as you can see, as I pan over here, you can see there are a lot of trees here. There's little to no damage. I don't know if the video quality isn't so good on my iPad, so I'm gonna have to zoom in a little bit. Go up just a little bit. This part of McDonald Park has little to no damage. You move down here, you can see no trees, and this is HB Chevrolet right here. Just right here is HB Chevrolet. See, right near the U.S. Post Office, right here is HB Chevrolet, HB Chevy, right there. See, all the cars out on the lot, how their windows blown out. This is all on September 16, 2001. This is Google Maps. And you can see right here, no trees. New trees are not being planted. It used to be like a forest here. All the big trees were torn down. And the damage path continues along 69th Road. You can see no large trees. All new trees are being planted along this block. This is facing west. You can see shredded tree. This is all occurred during the tornado, or macroburst that hit Forest Hills. Just go 2 blocks to the north. There are large trees here. See, the damage is not as severe now. Still, you can see there are large trees now. There are a lot of them. You can see there's still a lot of damage here. Go 2 blocks south now. Go 2 blocks. See, this is facing eastward. This is facing eastward towards Carona Park. You can see this is where the core of the damage is. Right here. Severe damage. And go maybe, 2 blocks south. And along Jewel Avenue, it's a forest. Go 2 blocks north, which is maybe a couple hundred, maybe 100 yards or so. Actually, no. Go 1 block to the north. No trees. Shredded. Damage path extends from about here to about here. And you can see bented over fences. Damage path is maybe 100, 200 yards wide. This was definitely a tornado. And you can see trees are bent over now. And this is all Forest Hills. This is Forest Hills. And this is where the tornado, and this is where the death occurred. Along Grand Central, right before Jewel Avenue. This is where the death from the fallen tree occurred. Now I'm going to take you across the pond, across the Carona Park, there's going to be the cemetery right here, you're going to see. This is now into Flushing. Same exact damage path that occurred from Forest Hills, following the same path into Flushing. It started in Middle Village and continued all the way into Flushing. I'm going to zoom out. And now I'm going to move into Main Street. This is southern part of Main Street. This is not where, where the church steeple was. This is a bit further north. You can see not as much damage. Damage path that I saw was something like this. Out here, you can see a lot. You can see there's no damage here though. This is where the core of the damage was. You can see this is cemetery. This is where all the trees were knocked down. See, look on this side, there's less damage. Look on that side, there's right there, there's lots of damage. And This is tornado actually, and this is going into Kew Gardens Hills, and these are the Leicester Towers right here. Barely make it up, but that's the Leicester Towers. The damage path went actually a little further to the south, right about here. And this is where this is Pomponok. Pomponok. And no damage here. There was a little more up here though, I think. Huh. See? This is still the damage path. This is along Main Street. And this is facing eastward. And there's less damage here. This is after Queens College. It seems that the tornado, from what I observed, based on the tree damage, passed through Queens College before it lifted up somewhere around here, because you can see lots of large trees, large oak trees here. Seems there's an here, as you can see, Kew Gardens Hills, there's a lot of damage here, because you can see very few large trees. You can see some planted trees. This is May 2012. So this is before Sandy hit. See a lot of new small saplings here. And there's one large tree here, which means maybe it survived. Okay. But from what I observe is that the damage path became less congratulated right about here. It passed through Carona, and from what I observed, it was supposed to, the core of it was supposed to be right about here. Move it about here. But as you can see, there's a lot of large trees. So it seems that this was that this was in fact a tornado that actually hit Forest Hills. Sorry about that. And there's gonna be a video I'm about to show you. Okay, just gotta find. Okay, as I said, this is now McDonald Park, and you can see these buildings right here. This is just across the street from McDonald Park. There was actually a video, a YouTuber actually took a video right here, somewhere in this area. And to the south is McDonald Park. The name of the video is titled Storm Footage, Forest Hill Storm Footage. The video was facing east. And facing east along the second or third floor. And I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to type in storm footage. It's from September 16, 2010. Storm footage, Forest Hills, right here. I'm going to show you the video right here. You can see the winds are blowing. You can see the breeze moving this way. You can see now the winds, you see the trees, you see which way the wind's blowing? Now the winds have shifted back around. This is facing east, not west. So, in macrobursts, do not rotate. Macrobursts fan out, not rotate. And I'm going to repeat the video one more time so you can see it. Video quality isn't so good on my iPad, so it's going to be very hard to tell. But you can see the debris flying around. You can see the debris actually even briefly floats before the wind actually even pauses and switches direction. Evidence that this was actually a tornado that hit Forest Hills and not a macroburst. The damage path was very, narrow, only a couple hundred yards wide. Maybe it was a macroburst, and maybe the building, you know, could cause a rotation. But I've noticed that those rotation even in, you know, across the street, which is very wide. So those rotation even there, you know, in the middle of the street. I saw that, you know, the winds was seeming to blow this way, and then they suddenly shifted and started heading back towards the building. So I believe that this was actually a tornado and not a macroburst. But, well, in this very area, I think what happened in Forest Hills here was actually a tornado. And, you know, there was a lot of damage elsewhere in Queens, like way outside of this severe damage. That was probably the macroburst. And this was actually the tornado. There was, that video is pretty good proof of that. And you can see, just go a couple blocks north. Just go one block to the south, right here. It's as if there was never a tornado here. You can see big trees are here. This is just one block. Actually, no, this is still in front of the damage path. I'm sorry. This is still in front of the damage path. But you can see, in this part of McDonald Park, you can see trees. I'll show you what I mean. You can see in this front of McDonald Park, big trees are easily dominating the area, but go just to the southern part of McDonald Park, it's a completely different story. This was in fact a tornado that did hit Forest Hills. I strongly believe that this was a tornado that hit Forest Hills, and there's Doppler radar evidence that shows that the rotating part of the thunderstorm did go right through Forest Hills. I looked at some loops very closely and found the rotating part of the thunderstorm, the southern end of the rotation came right through Forest Hills. And usually you have the rotation, a tornado on the southern side of like the supercell, where the southerly winds interact with the northerly winds, and you tend to have that the red and green couplet actually came right over this part of Forest Hills. I actually looked at the radar, where the reds and the greenest were the closest together. So this was in fact a tornado that hit Forest Hills, and there might have been some other circulations that did touch down. I mean, there was 50 knots gate-to-gate shear. That is very conducive. That's perfect for tornadoes. That's definitely evidence of tornado. If you combine 100 and 50, that's 100 knots. And that's over 100-mile-an-hour winds. And, I mean, if you combine, maybe that's not how tornadoes work, but usually tornadoes, I think, form about 40-knot gate-to-gate shear. Already 30 is already, you know, worrisome. 50 is definitely likely, you know, you'll definitely see a tornado. And, well, my conclusion is it was a tornado that hit Forest Hills, Middle Village, and parts of Flushing before it lifted up after hitting Queens College, and maybe another one touched down in another part of Flushing where it continued through Bayside. Well, thank you for watching. And please tell me your opinions about this. Thank you so much. Bye.